This is Tom Rust for TRSB Sports Podcast, and today delighted to be joined by Big John Fisher. John, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Glad to get you back on the channel. I see you have another busy weekend. How was the British Boxing Board of Control dinner yesterday?
And a very busy weekend. Yeah, that was very surreal. You walk in like the Lancaster Hotel, very nice. And we had about an hour to wait before the dinner and the awards. And it's just boxer after boxer after boxer. And it's just like, amazing to see, Joe Calzaghe, Chris Eubank, John Ryder, Kell Brook, amongst others. It was just Derek Williams, one of the old heavyweights from like my era. It was just amazing to see them all up close.
So you managed to have a chat with them and see some new faces then?
Yeah, definitely. So, saw a couple of people from my past because I used to box many years ago, just amateur. Saw some people from my past, Barry Smith being one who helps coach Josh Kelly. And obviously, hold up 1 second, Charlotte, he's pulling off the iron. Sorry, the pup's pulling the lead and he's pulling the iron, so I don't have an accident. And made a lot of new friends as well. So, as I say, talked to Joe Calzaghe, John Ryder. Obviously, Johnny was on his card a couple of weeks ago. He come up and we had a really good chat and he was on our table. It was really a really good day, really very good day.
Yeah, you don't get much better than Joe Calzaghe. What an absolute brilliant fighter in his day.
Yeah, exactly. One of the very best to ever put a pair of gloves on.
And I was expecting you to see you in Mexico teaching the old, the Mexicans, the Bosh. How did Johnny and his brothers get on over there?
It was, I think they had a wonderful time. I think they had the time of their lives, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, I didn't get an invite, so I was stuck here working. But to be truthful with you, it's nice for them to go on their own. Three brothers spend time together. They made a lot of good friends while they was out there. And I think it's just what they all needed. Johnny, obviously, 5 fights in a year, no rest. His body needed a rest, still does, to be truthful. And the others have been working very hard as well. So just a week in the sun, no pressure. It does everybody the world of good, especially after the last couple of years everybody's had. No holidays have been taken, really, have they? So it was that extra bit special for them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. After, a busy year of fights, training hard, it must have been nice for him to go over there and just switch off and enjoy a bit of sun. And
well, he just, Johnny doesn't drink or anything like that, even when he's in downtime. So for him, switching off is just no training, no phone, no answering questions. And, he does what he likes to do when he relaxes, and that's eating. So he's like me. I think he had a lot to eat over there. So it was good to see.
It looked like he had a great time from looking on his social media. Just before we talk about Johnny's fight that he had on the 12th of February, we all know that he's had a fantastic start to his career. He's got a huge following, sells thousands of tickets, with you sort of at the head of that. I just want to ask you about yourself and how your life changed over the last sort of year, 18 months, because again, your social media has taken off. Every time I look at your Instagram, you've got another 1,000 followers. Your TikTok videos as well, having a sneaky Chinese, and your public appearances now. So just tell us how your life's changed.
Well, to be truthful with you, my the TikTok, I didn't even know I was on TikTok, to be honest with you. My sons William and Henry set up BOOOOSH account, and I had people coming up to me in the street going, "Oh, can I have a photo? Can I have a photo? Kung Po prawns?" And I thought, what's this all about? And then I found out, obviously, that I'm on TikTok. Not through my own accord, but some of the videos now have had over like 2.5 million views, and from that, I've been asked to do personal appearances in nightclubs. I've been on Cameo, believe it or not, which has been going really well, and I've been enjoying that. But it's just new. It's all new for me, and it's still surreal for me. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not anybody special at all. But it's nice just to do something different, and it is nice that a lot of people say, oh, they love the videos, a bit of fun. So if we can just bring a little bit of joy and a little bit of light-heartedness to people's lives, then so well and good. But it is all by pure accident. It's not, not something that we planned or anything. We're still not planning anything, And obviously being Johnny's dad helps, but it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's just something different. I've worked hard all my life and I'm still working hard now. But it's just nice to do something a little bit light-hearted, to be truthful with you. So enjoying it.
I think that's why you are so popular, because people see you up Monday morning 7 a.m. you know, I think you said on the last podcast, you know, you're like your children's taxi, taking them to and from clubs. I see you at hockey, football, and obviously the boxing. And you're just a sort of normal bloke. That's why I think so many people relate to you and like you and want to follow your journey.
Well, there's millions of mums and dads out there, not even mums and dads, people that look after children, grandparents, carers, you know, anyone that looks after children of any sort. You know, you do your work, you go to work, you earn your money to pay for your keep. And then you've got another job when you come home, because you're taking one here, one there, helping with homework, doing things. But I'm lucky that I've got my wife as well. You know, we've got 4 children, they all lead busy lives, but my wife, she's ferrying about as well. It's just good now that 2 out of the 4 children that we have can now drive, so they can start taking themselves to places. But every now and again, they still want you to drop them off, especially with Johnny. If he's got hard days training or sparring or something like that, they do like to, it is good to take him still places, you know, so he can relax a little bit. But I wouldn't have it any other way, as I say, millions of other parents and carers and grandparents out there.
And on top of that, you're chasing around a puppy as well.
Well, I can hear him now. Johnny's got a new puppy. Just got it this today. He's a wonderful dog, but I can hear him now as I'm talking to you. So, dog number 4 in this house. So when Johnny moves out, eventually he'll take him with him. But at the moment, he's Johnny. I'll do this. I'll do that. He's up the gym, and we're looking after the pup. So I know what's going to happen. Yeah,
no, I've seen it on some of their posts. So yeah, you're going to be even busier. And how's the training going? I've seen you've been on the pads. I saw you have a personal trainer as well. How's all that been going?
Well, to be honest with you, I knew I was overweight, but when I saw some of the videos, I didn't realise how overweight I was. You know, you get this image in your head that you're a bit overweight, but you're not too bad. But Danny from VIP, he's given me a 12-week course, eating plan and training plan. And on the eating plan, I can still eat Chinese once or twice a week. I can still have treats. But the training has been hard. It's been like, I haven't trained for 10 years probably. So I'm starting afresh. And when you're carrying extra weight, it is hard. So many people have done it before. There's no excuses now. We're doing it. So, and when you've got someone like Danny pushing you, you know, helping you, hopefully I'll succeed. So hopefully in 6 to 8 weeks, we'll start seeing the proper results of it.
Have you got a goal then for the end of the program?
Not really. My only goal for the 12 weeks is to keep going, keep training 3 or 4 times a week with Danny, keep eating healthier, still having treats, still enjoying my life, but no goal. I haven't set any weight loss. I haven't set anything, to be honest with you, just seeing where we can get after them 12 weeks. And then once them 12 weeks are up, we'll see whether we can do another 12 weeks. But the first goal is to get to the end of them 12 weeks after eating a bit more healthy and working out a little bit. So as I say, it is hard. I used to box myself many years ago, and it's strange how you let yourself go over the years. So we're getting there.
And how are you feeling after the first couple of weeks? Is it quite hard? You know? Yeah. Brilliant.
I've only done like a week and a half, but already I've just come back from probably a two and a half mile walk with my wife and Arnie, our Rottweiler, and that's the longest I've done for ages. So it's obviously helping me already. You know, subconsciously you don't really think. You know, I've only done 4 sessions. I've had a week and a half of eating healthy, but already I can feel the benefits. So I even got up at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning and went and trained. So I wouldn't have dreamt of doing that even a couple of weeks ago. So it's all good. But as I say, it's only a start, but we're going to get there.
So that leads me nicely on to my next question. Now, if we fast forward to 6 months' time, you're a bit fitter, lost a bit of weight. If someone was to call you out, would you consider doing an exhibition boxing match?
Only if there was about 10 stone lighter and 20 years older. So there you go. That's your answer. I don't think anyone will want to see me in an exhibition boxing match, and I don't know if I'll get that fit, because you don't realise how fit boxers are until you start putting the gloves on and the pads, you know, and that's without anybody hitting your back. So fair play to anyone that gets in the ring and fights still. This is the hardest sport in the world.
Well, you never know with your following, you know, you're growing by the day. Stranger things have happened, but you never know. So, someone might start calling you out, some YouTuber somewhere, or like you say, someone 20 years older that fancies a little tear up with you in the ring.
Listen, there's probably millions of people that fancy a tear up with me in the ring after seeing me on the pad, so they're welcome to it. Anyone can call me out. I don't think you get me in the ring, but as you say, you never say never. But no, I just want to get fitter. That's all I'm working for.
And just going back as well, you mentioned the personal appearances. Talk to us a little bit what actually happens when you go to nightclubs. You know, what it's like, the running order, what you do, and the people you meet.
It's crazy, you know. They're really, really good people. The people that I'm in with, and they've led me on to other people. First of all, when they phoned me up and said, "Oh, we want you to do personal appearances," I thought it was a wind up. I thought it was someone on the end of the phone. I put the phone down. Basically, I said, "Leave off. You're having a wind up," and that is the truth. Put the phone down. They text me. They said, "Look, check me out. So and so knows me." I checked them out. They seemed legit. And even up until the first appearance was at Oxford University, right? A nightclub in Oxford for Oxford University students. And even when I was pulling up to the hotel, walking into the reception, I was expecting somebody to come out of a camera and say, "We've got that." You know, I really was. That's the truth, because it's me. I don't, you know, it's just surreal that I'm being asked to do nightclub appearances. But went there, it was brilliant. You know, they take you out for Chinese first, all you can eat, all you can drink, and then you go to the club, and it's purely in the VIP area, and you just stand there and do photos. And I think in 1 hour in Oxford we did 452 photos, so it was amazing. It's been really good. You meet a lot of young people, and it's nice to see that there are still a lot of good young people about, so really enjoyable.
And so what, like 400 odd pictures, and what you had some prawn crackers as well, didn't you? I think I saw him. Was it Johnny?
That was at Bristol, Johnny, because Johnny and Henry are going to come to a few with me.
Yeah.
I do some on my own, but they come to a few with me. They just purely to help me and do some videos. And Johnny was feeding prawn crackers to the crowd. This was after his fight. He was on a bit of a high, but you know, wanted to come and enjoy himself. Feeding prawn crackers to the crowd, and they just love it. It's something about prawn crackers and a nightclub crowd. I don't know what it is, so it might catch on.
I was going to say, my clubbing days are well gone, but if I ever go clubbing at one point and people are being fed prawn crackers, it'll be different. But talking about, you know, the people that, you know, you sort of reach out to, you know, your demographic, if you like. I was at my boys' training like the other week, and there was like 14, 15-year-olds walking in, about to start training it, giving it the old Bosh. You know, I could hear them talking about yourself. My younger brother, he plays for Blackheath Rugby Club. That, and when they're, you know, training, they're giving it the old Bosh. So are you surprised how sort of quickly and how far the Bosh is going?
Yeah, listen, as we said before, Tom Skinner's the king of Bosh. He started off saying Bosh a few years ago. You know, other people have obviously said it before, but Tom Skinner was like our mate, and like it sort of caught off of him. But we've put it to a new demographic. What you're saying, we put it to the school age kids, the student age kids, or student age people. Sorry. And it's just gone. You know, we've took it to a new place where probably Tom wasn't reaching, and it's just amazing. I mean, a short story. I was in the park the other day walking our dogs again with a friend, and there was some like hoodies walking past, about 4 or 5 of them, look quite intimidating. So you know, they walked past, started talking. By the end of it, they was all having photos with me because they knew who I was, and it's just nice kids, you know. And it's just amazing. I just can't believe it, to be honest with you. I don't know how long it's going to last for, but while it's there, we'll enjoy it, and we'll enjoy the ride.
I suppose as well, the people that you are reaching out to are the sort of generation of people that are on their phones, are on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So, you know, it's continuously growing. I know you said you're not a celebrity, but I understand why you say that, and you know, you are a humble individual. But what about something like I've mentioned, an exhibition fight? What about like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here if you was approached? Because I could see you on there. You probably wouldn't be eating chicken balls, but I could imagine you on there.
You know what? Again, I'm not nowhere near big enough to be asked to go on that, but I might be pretty good on it because I don't like heights, I don't like spiders, and I don't like eating anything that they do. So I might be good viewing on there. But there's a lot more people more worthy than me to go on. I'm a celebrity, but yeah, it might do me good even to go on there because I could lose 2 or 3 stone in there. So that might be a good plan. I could pay to go on there, to be truthful with you, to lose the weight. So but as you say, that's something like that would be, if that come a knocking, you'd do it. But I'm not expecting a call from them anytime soon. So don't worry about that.
You never know. And also, I've seen you in a couple of other interviews talking about owning your own restaurant. Is that something you're seriously considering? Is it something we should see in the near future?
Well, again, never say never. At the moment, I'm still busy with my own work. You know, it's tough times at the minute. We're in the food game. Food prices are rising. you know, so the margins are getting cut even more than they were before. And even in restaurants and cafes, you know, all their prices are going up, you know, electricity, gas, rates, food. So probably a bit hard at the moment to get started in that, but it would be something, yeah, in the future that I would love to do. Definitely.
Yeah, no, my missus keeps telling me about all the utility bills going up. So I think the radiators are going to become ornaments, you know, not for keeping us warm anymore. But John,
moving jumpers on.
Yeah, that's it. Sit there with 4 jumpers on. But coming on to Johnny's fight, his 5th fight, you know, 12th of April, Ali Pali. You sold again, you know, a huge amount of tickets. I've seen a couple of people quote a couple of figures. How much tickets did you end up selling?
I sold personally 2,400, but I'm not lying. I could have sold double that because we were constantly told by Matchroom. Obviously, they have contracts with the venue and other boxers, so we was constantly being held back with what we could sell. So 2,400 in the end is what I did, but definitely could have done. If I'd have given 5,000 at the beginning, I would have sold 5,000. No question.
That's incredible. And we often hear fighters talk about fight week. What's fight week like for you? Because it must be hectic. Again, I see you on your story going around, dropping off tickets, sorting out tickets. I think, you know, your wife is sorting out T-shirts. How's fight week for you?
It is very busy. Obviously, Johnny goes into the hotel on Wednesday. We could go in there with him if we want. You know, we have hotel rooms with Matchroom if we want them. But I like to let him get on with it. You know, he likes a small circle in fight week. He doesn't like anybody going in there that he doesn't want in there. And that's important to Johnny. He just wants his trainer, his manager, and that's it. So he wouldn't mind if I went in there, but I like to stay away because I know what he's like. But other than that, yeah, tickets, you're still selling tickets, T-shirts, people, you know what people are like. People leave picking up their tickets to the last minute. They leave picking up their T-shirts to the last minute, but that's human nature, you know, and that's always going to be like that. But it's great in a way because you have a little moment, we've got to do this, got to do that, but it keeps your mind off things and it keeps you busy. So in a way, and then on fight night, I mean, we were still delivering tickets up to 6 o'clock on fight night. We said we weren't going to do it after last time, but I still went to Ali Pali with 20 loads of tickets to give out. So I don't think it'll ever change, but just so grateful of all the support that Johnny gets. It's just unreal, you know. And as I said, I sold 2,400, but I know I must have sent 100, 200 people to the general sale to StubHub when I told we couldn't get any more. So it's just great, you know, that probably 50, 60% of that support in that stadium was for Johnny.
It's incredible. So you quite like the distraction, and even though you're very busy, I suppose it occupies your mind. I think I saw you saying in another interview, you get quite sort of nervous before the fights.
Very, very nervous, and this time there's a little bit more spotlight on me. I had a camera on me. DAZN had a camera on me during the whole of the fight, and I was interviewed for DAZN before the fight, and it was brilliant. You know, I've never had anything like that before, and just take it in my stride. But it keeps your mind off it. But when the camera's in your face as well, it's like it adds to the nerves a little bit, you know. But it's surreal. As I say, it's all still surreal. Johnny's still learning with it. We're still learning with it. And long may it continue, you know, because while that's happening, it means he's being successful.
Absolutely. And looking at the fight, he's, you know, 5-0, fought 4 big knockouts. This fight, you know, I think he before this one, he hadn't had to go past the second round. So sort of a new territory for him, with a cut as well. And I think it's just a reminder for everyone that sometimes you might not always get the knockout. But then on the flip side to that, it must have been nice for him to get some rounds under his belt. And if he needs to, he can go the distance.
The fight, right? Any boxing people will realise that Gabriel Nguema, he's been the distance with Rivas. You know, he's had 21 fights. He's won 10. He's a regular sparring partner with Anthony Joshua. For a 5th fight, I thought myself, I knew it was going to go the distance. And I thought it was a hard fight, and I'm just so glad that he's come through it. You know, he got cut within 30 seconds, and he didn't let that bother him at all. And people don't know this, but he really hurt his hand in the second round as well. He couldn't throw a straight right. I'm sitting here with my mate, and I'm saying, why does he keep throwing a looping right? He just needs to throw a straight right. And I'm shouting at Johnny during the fight, straight right, straight right. And he said after the fight, he turned around saying, he nearly turned around between the rounds and said, I can't bloody throw it. He's damaged the tendons in his hand, nothing major, just pure overuse, 5 fights in a year, constant training. That's why he needs a little break, a little rest. But he couldn't throw straight right. He said the pain was immeasurable. So with the cut, with his hand, with the amount of fans there, I thought he done tremendously well, to be honest with you, because he was a tough opponent who come to win. So, it wasn't just like someone they found on the street to roll over. It was a proper live opponent. And to have them things go against you early on and to come over them when you're only in your 5th fight, credit to Johnny, but he didn't want to make any complaints about his hand. He's not like that. He didn't want to get out and say, oh, my hand hurt. He boxed well. He got the decision and he won the fight. And I say to people that didn't see it, he won every round, but every round was close. It was a competitive round. Every round was competitive, but he won every round. So it's a good learning experience for him. And as you say, at the end of it, it's only going to benefit him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I watched the fight back earlier today because, you were coming on in. I wanted to have it fresh in my mind. Like you say, he was no journeyman. He came to win. He kept Johnny on his toes, and with a cut in the first round and a right hand or right arm that's not fully functional. Do you think that's just going to be an invaluable lesson for him going forward?
Totally. A lot of other boxers could have, especially with a cut. Even Jimmy Tibbs, best cut man in the business. He said not once did Johnny moan about it. He said he's never heard of that before. Normally boxers say, "Oh, it's the cut right." He didn't even mention it. It was a bad cut as well, like about 15 stitches. It weren't a great cut. So to suffer that within 30 seconds, it puts you off your stride. But he didn't let it bother him. He didn't let his hand bother him either, his right hand. He knows there's things to improve on. We all know there's things to improve on, but that's where you improve under them lights in front of a live crowd against a live opponent. You're not going to get anywhere knocking over people that that give you no test at all. Yeah, it looks good, it's great, but at the end of the day, it's boxing. It's the hardest sport in the world, and you have to build up that experience, and he's doing it in the right way.
I think sometimes as well, because of the following your son has, it's sometimes slips people's minds that he's only 5-0, such a young man. But yeah, because he creates such a buzz, such an atmosphere, and for someone that hasn't, just been at the Olympics and won a gold medal or had a extensive amateur background, he's such a young man, but he has got a huge platform to DAZN, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. So, the world's at his feet, and hopefully he can go on to have a great career. When are we likely to see him back in the ring?
Well, hopefully, as I say, his eye takes 8 weeks to heal because, he's had the stitches out, everything's fine. It takes 8 weeks to heal. His hand is about the same. So, in a way, it's good that it's both come at the same time. He's going to start training again in another week, using his left hand, doing some weights, using his right, building it all up, but not punching with it. So I reckon end of May, beginning of June, probably be the time when he gets out next, which, it sounds far away, but it's not. We're in March now. So it's not that far away at all, really. Yeah,
I don't know about you. The year seems to just be flying away already.
Time, as you get older, you'll notice time goes even quicker. So wait till you get to my age, it goes quicker. So enjoy every day.
It certainly doesn't stand still. Talking about another big fight, we had Josh Taylor, Jack Catchell on Sky last weekend in Scotland. Just wanted to get your reaction to it, because I don't think I've seen anyone that's anyone sort of respected in the boxing industry come out and say that they thought Taylor actually won the fight on that night. What did you make of it?
Yeah, well, I as I say, was at the awards dinner yesterday, and Josh Taylor won Boxer of the Year for 2021, and rightly so. He was the best boxer last year, undisputed British champion. Credit to him. But in this fight, if you're talking openly and honestly, whether he couldn't make the weight or he just didn't look himself, and for me, I thought Jack Catchell won quite convincingly. I know boxing's subjective. I know people see different ways, but I haven't met many people that don't think Catchell won. Unless they've got a vested interest in Josh Taylor. But it's just a shame when that happens. It is boxing. It happens every now and again. I just feel for Jack Catchell that his undisputed titles have been taken away from him by the judges. But it's boxing, unfortunately, and it happens. It shouldn't happen, but it does happen. Like it happens in football with dodgy decisions, and it's sport, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. And I think that Josh is getting a lot of stick at the moment. And I think understands.
It's not Josh's fault, you know. He's got in there. He boxed as well as he could do. He wasn't at his best. It's not his fault. Perhaps some people like to say be a little bit more, you know, he got a bit lucky with the decision, but each to their own. You know, he's got to see it how he sees it. So, but you know, you can't blame the boxers, you can't blame the trainers. It's just what happens. It's the judging at the end of the day, and what can we do about it? Something hopefully has to be done about it, but it's whether it will.
I think as well, you know, with any sport, I don't think there's many people that are going to come out and say, actually, I think I lost, even if they thinking that in their head. And I suppose, you know, he didn't raise his arm. It was the ref at the end of the day, based on the judge's decision. It's just a shame, I think, because they train so hard, they make, you know, super sacrifices, leave their families and so on. Well, you know more than most, you know, given, you know, your son's a pro. But yeah, no, like you said, it just seems to happen far too often, and you know we're all watching it on telly. So there's no hiding place. I think they said they're going to get John Lewis in and have a discussion, but I don't see anything really changing. Do you?
You hope that things like this bring about change, you know, but it's whether it does or not. You know, as the boxers have said before, after the fight they have to get interviewed, and I don't see why judges and referees, even in football and other sports, don't get interviewed. You know, if the combatants have to, why not everybody? But it's just a shame. It's just like leaves a sour taste in the mouth, because it could happen to any boxer, and it's not nice. You know, as I say, it's not Josh Taylor's fault. Credit to him, he trained hard, as you say, and it was a tough fight. Both men give it their all, but you must feel sorry for Jack Catchwell. You know, his whole life changed that night, and it weren't for the better, unfortunately, where it should have been.
Yeah, no, it's hard to see. You've got to feel for him, because we had Michael McKinson on the channel earlier on last month, and he was talking about his fight against Virgil Ortiz this month now, and he's not known for knocking anyone out. He normally goes the distance. It's going to be a tough night for him, and it just makes you wonder sometimes. You know, there's so many reasons why fights don't get made, like money, platforms and TV and etc. You can understand why sometimes fighters will swerve and try and navigate in a different direction.
I don't know what the answer is, because a lot of people have said go to computer judging, and I don't know if that's the answer. It's just perhaps more judges, you know, it might be the answer, but unfortunately I'm not clever enough to work out what to do about it. But it's just a shame that it happens. But it's not only in boxing, it's all sports. These things happen every now and again. And you like to hope they don't happen, but unfortunately they do. So we've got to just try our best to hope that they don't happen again in the future.
Well, like you say, hopefully something good will come from it. Another big fight that's going to be happening the 23rd of April, Fury White. What did you make of the press conference and Dillian White, his no-show?
Well, you know, from my point of view, you know, turn up to the press conference, but Dillian's obviously got his reasons. You know, we don't know all the ins and outs, but you know, Fury held the press conference on his own anyway. So, you know, he's such a showman. I don't think it really made any difference, and if anything, it might have promoted the fight even a little bit more. You know, so it might have worked. It might have been planned. We never know. You know, boxing show business as well as sport, so you don't trust everything you hear and see all the time.
Yeah, no, I think if there's one man on the planet that can hold a press conference on his own, it's going to be Tyson Fury.
Yeah, definitely.
Just on that as well, I know you've met Tyson Fury. What was he like when you met him? Did you manage to, you know, spend a bit of time with him, have a chat with him?
He's like Johnny, when he's trained with him and sparred with him, he said, like, he's just an amazing man to be around. And then, as I say, I've only met him the once, but spoke to him quite a few times on like telephone or Instagram. And he's just to me, just a wonderful man. You know, for him to have time to spend and speak to me just shows how humble he is still. You know, he's just a family man. And it's great. It's great to see, you know, he's good for boxing. And I'm hoping, you know, I like Dillian White as well, but I can't see Dillian White beating Tyson Fury. I just hope that they both put on a good show and both men come out safe and can fight on after this, you know. But for me, Fury is the best, if not one of the best that's ever put a pair of gloves on. So it's great to watch him. We should savour watching him box, because he's not going to be here forever boxing. And, you know, it's great to watch. So just enjoy every moment.
Yeah, he's an incredible individual. Such a great story as well from where he was, after he put on all the weight, his mental health issues that are well documented to where he is now. Always sort of makes me laugh when Eddie Hearn talks about him when he was considering and signing him, and he said, you're never going to sort of box again, which understandably, the state he was in at the time, but where he is now, top of the world. How good would it be one day to see Johnny sell out a stadium?
Listen, if Johnny could sell out a stadium, it'd be unbelievable. He's on the road, but he's got a long way to go. No one's saying, "Oh, Johnny's this, Johnny's that." You just got to keep building slowly, keep making people like you. Doing what you're doing in the right way, keep winning your fights in the right way, and if you do that, you should keep building up your fan base. You know what I mean? He was in Mexico, as you know.
Yeah.
And so many Americans were coming up to him asking when he's fighting in America. I think he's getting quite well known in America as well at the moment. So that's great. If you could even go and train out there for a period of time and have a couple of fights in America, I think that'd be good as well for Johnny. So you just got to keep learning, keep working. And if you do that, keep winning, the good things will come, So just got to keep trying.
It's amazing how things work out because, seeing that post from, I think it was Sam Jones, wasn't it, from S-Jam at the time, asking about people if they wanted to spar. I think it was Joe Joyce. I think I'd imagine he probably thinks that's one of the best things he ever did. Listen,
Johnny always willing to do something. He's always willing to put himself out there and put himself out of his comfort zone. And that's a lesson to anyone that follows anything, even if, any part of Johnny's story. He was at university. He just, he believed in himself, big, strong boy, but he was just a raw novice, even an amateur then. And he put himself out there, said, I'll go and spar Joe. And the rest is history. From there, it's just snowballed because he put himself out, because he made himself available to take himself out of his comfort zone. And Joe was at Johnny's party on Saturday. They've become such good friends, and Joe is a wonderful man. And, you can't forget about Joe Joyce either, because we're just hoping that he one day gets a chance to fight for the world title, because he has got such a lot of talent as well.
Yeah, he's been linked with fight. Who's he been linked with fighting recently?
Parker.
That's it. Joseph. I think that'd be a great fight.
Listen, Joe hasn't necessarily got to fight for world title straight away now. There's a couple of good fights out there for him. And I think that will be a good fight, because I think they've both got good styles that will match each other. And Parker's obviously top class. You can't get a lot better than Joseph Parker. So it will be a real tough test for Joe, but one that I think he can come through.
Apparently he is Morecambe Joe now, because he's training alongside Tyson Fury, I believe.
Listen, when Johnny went up there, he said it's lovely. He said it's quiet. I'll drop Johnny off up there. The scenery is unreal up in Morecambe. There's no distractions. If you're a boxer, that's what you want. You just want to go and hide yourself away, train. I mean, he's training with the best, Tyson Fury. Good coaches up there, the best coaches up there. And then you've got no distractions. So for a boxer, it's ideal.
I think that just speaks volumes, really, with Tyson Fury. Obviously got a lot of money, very successful, could be anywhere in the world, but to stay in Morecambe just shows you how dedicated he is, because there are no distractions.
No, exactly. And I think Johnny said when he was like training with him, he said you would not think you're talking to the heavyweight champion of the world with like millions of pounds in the bank. He said he's just a normal man. And that's the best way to be, just because you've got more money than someone doesn't mean you're better than anyone, and vice versa. So I just think people should respect Tyson a lot more than what they do. He deserves a lot more credit than what he gets, and as I said, when he's not boxing, we're going to miss him. So enjoy every minute of watching him box.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's definitely been one of the best fighters in our area, absolutely. Any other fights you're looking forward to this year?
Not really. I'd like to see Chris Eubank Jr. fight someone, have a tear up with someone. Obviously, the Kell Brook Khan fight was a great fight. It's just been. We saw Kell Brook on Sunday. What a great fight that was. Credit to both men.
Yeah.
And I just hope, I'd like to see Derek Chisora back in the ring. I know people don't want to see him fight again, but if he's fit, if he's strong, if everything's working, he's such an entertainer himself. So it'd be great to see him in a big fight once more as well.
Yeah, I think Derek Chisora's got, whether he boxes on or not, he's going to be the only one that makes that decision. But for me, his value for money, he comes to fight. He's obviously getting paid, but he's not doing it for a payday. He comes to fight.
Totally. And, I think they're talking about Deontay Wilder. What a fight that would be. Whether he can take Wilder's power or not, I don't know. But it's whether Wilder can take his power as well, So it'd just be for however long it lasted. It'd just be a shootout, you know. But obviously, what you said, that's down to Derek. As long as he's fit and healthy, you know, as long as everything's working and he can go again, then why not? You know, it's his life, his decision.
Yeah, lots going on at the moment in the world of boxing. There's so much to look forward to. So many great fights. I hear as well. Amir Khan is not going to retire. I saw a clip of Ben Shlom earlier saying that he might be looking to react to the rematch clause in the contract. So he might see.
Yeah, so we saw Ben Shalom on Sunday as well. He's a nice young man. He's doing well in boxing. He's a credit to boxing. You know, and if Amir Khan, I think he wants to fight Kell Brook again. Obviously, people who want to see it again, but is it? You know, I don't know. I think Amir Khan. For me, I think I'd like to see him retire personally after the last fight. But again, it's his decision. He's his own man. He makes his mind up. So it's down to him.
And you mentioned just quickly as well, I don't want to keep you all night, but you mentioned Eubank, you know, you'd like to see him in another fight. But personally, I feel like we still don't really know how good he is.
Well, to me, you know, obviously his dad was a great, and I used to know his dad or see his dad when I was a young boy when he used to train in Romford. Always a gentleman, Chris Eubank Senior. You know, he gets a lot of bad press, and obviously his son, Chris Eubank Jr., comes across as arrogant and one thing and another, and a lot of people don't like him, but I'm the same as you. I think he's super talented, and I don't think we have seen the best of him yet. And that's why I would like to see him in one or two more top fights, because I do think he can be one of the very best. But he's obviously got to prove it in that ring, you know. And it's whether someone like Billy Joe Saunders had come back, that'd be a great fight to see that again. So, you know, that was one that I'd definitely look forward to if that happened.
And what about there's talk about him fighting Ben. What about that fight? You know, with so much history with the dads, the name. Would you like to
Conor Ben? I met him a couple of times, and what a nice young man he is. He's a credit to his family, you know. And I wish him every success. I just think Eubank might be a little bit too big for him. It's whether they can meet in the middle with a weight, you know. But Ben, he's got his own path. He's super talented. He's going to the top. So I don't know if Eubank would be worth him fighting. I really don't. But obviously, because of the dads, there's the history there. So it might happen. You never know. But I wish Conor Ben all the best success in the world, because he deserves it.
Yeah, he's an incredible young fighter and improved so much over the last couple of years, and you know, devastating knockout in his last performance. Yeah. But listen, John, again, you know, I don't want to keep you all night. Anything, you know, you would like to add? Anything else you've got, you know, coming up?
Not really. I've just got more appearances coming up. As I said to you, I'm doing a cameo, which is amazing. It's just unreal, to be honest with you. But I'd just like to thank, on behalf of Johnny, everyone that bought a ticket, everyone that watched on DAZN, and his sponsors. He's got such a good group of sponsors behind him. They really have a vested interest in him. A lot of good people, not only like financially, they give him a lot of support mentally, you know, with advice. So I'd just like to, you know, just say a big thank you to all them and to every single one of Johnny's supporters. So thank you very much. It means a lot.
Okay, nice one. All right, then, John. Well, thanks ever so much for coming back on. All the best with your fitness journey. And
yeah, that's it. When you see me next time, I might be a lot thinner. So hopefully that's the case.
Well, you can still have Chinese, so it can't be too bad.
No, it's a great food plan he's put me on. So thank Danny from VIP Essex for that. He's a magician. And
that place you go to as well, just quickly, I think it's got the outdoor pool. That looks quite a nice little place you go to do a bit of training.
Virgin Active Clearview, isn't it, in Worley? Yeah, it's wonderful. So we're going to go up there tomorrow night actually and have a swim. So I'll go between the two, VIP HQ Essex in Stapleford Abbots and the Clearview to use the pool. So I've got no excuses really. So I've got both on my doorstep, so no excuses.
And what is it, sauna or steam room for you after?
I like steam room, to be truthful with you. I do like a steam room, so I've got to get in there a bit more often.
Nice one. All right, mate. Well, thank you ever so much. I appreciate you jumping back on. It's good to catch up, and we'll keep an eye out for Johnny's next fight when it's announced.
Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
You're very welcome. Cheers, John.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you.